Hey guys, have you ever seen a small animal with a long body and many legs crawling slowly across the ground? Yes, that's a millipede. But wait a minute. Do millipedes really have 1,000 legs? The answer is no. In fact, most species only have hundreds of legs. However, there was an amazing discovery in Australia in 2021. Scientists discovered a new species called Millipedes Persephone. This tiny animal actually broke the world record with a whopping 1,306 legs, and to date, it holds the title of the most legged animal on the planet. But millipedes aren't just unique because of their leg count. They also have an extraordinary defense mechanism. When threatened, millipedes will immediately roll up into a tight ball. Not only that, many of them can secrete a pungent chemical fluid. Some species even produce small amounts of hydrogen cyanide. While not deadly to humans, the smell and taste of this fluid are enough to deter predators, like birds or reptiles, from approaching again. And here's an even more surprising fact. Some species of millipedes can glow in the dark. For example, the genus Motixia from California. At night, their bodies emit a beautiful bluish-green glow. This glow isn't just for show, it's also a warning to predators. Watch out, I'm poisonous. This phenomenon is called bioluminescence, and it's extremely rare in land animals like them. If we look back in time, it turns out that the ancestors of millipedes were far more impressive. Around 300 million years ago, there lived a creature called Arthropleura. Its body could reach 2.5 meters in length, the size of an adult human. Can you imagine a giant millipede walking through a primeval forest? This animal was one of the largest land arthropods ever to live on Earth. So, what is the role of millipedes in our ecosystem today? It turns out to be very important. They are natural decomposers. Millipedes feed on dry leaves, pieces of rotting wood, and other plant debris. They break down all this organic material into tiny particles and then return it to the soil as nutrients. This means that without millipedes, the soil would not be as rich and fertile as it is today. Forests would lose their balance, and plants might not grow as well as they do today. And one more little-known fact. Millipedes can live quite long for small animals. Some species can survive for more than 10 years. They are not fast runners, not hunters, and not particularly fearsome animals. But beneath their tiny bodies, millipedes are silent workers that keep the earth fertile. So the next time you see a millipede crawling slowly across the ground, don't be disgusted or afraid. Remember that beneath its hundreds of legs, this animal holds an ancient history, unique abilities, and a vital role in all of our lives. But it turns out, not everyone knows millipedes correctly. Many often mistake them for centipedes or millipedes. In fact, they are very different. Centipedes are predators with a pair of legs on each body segment, and they possess a poisonous sting that can harm humans. Millipedes, on the other hand, are more peaceful. Each body segment has 2 pairs of legs, and they are not hunters at all. They prefer chewing dry leaves to chasing prey. They also have a unique habit that is rarely noticed. When they walk, millipedes move their hundreds of legs in a wavy manner, creating the illusion of waves flowing across their bodies. This movement is not only beautiful to look at, but also helps them maintain balance when moving on slippery surfaces. And despite their small size, they have become part of human culture. In some regions, millipedes are considered good luck because they symbolize hard work and perseverance. But on the other hand, there are also myths that consider them bad omens. It all comes down to cultural perspectives. Did you know that millipedes are also quite cleverly adapted animals? They are more active at night, to avoid the heat of the sun, which can quickly dry out their bodies. That's why we often find them in damp places, under rocks, rotting logs, or piles of leaves. And interestingly, millipedes aren't completely solitary animals. Sometimes, in fertile areas, we can find hundreds of them gathered in one area. Imagine hundreds of millipedes with thousands of legs, moving in unison, like a mini-festival in the underworld. With all these facts, it's increasingly clear that millipedes aren't just small animals we often overlook. They are part of the larger puzzle of life on Earth. From their role as decomposers, to their ingenious defenses, to their fascinating ancient history, all of this makes them worthy of being called one of the most unique creatures on the planet.